Hello, stamping friends. Brenda Hillard here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I can be found at createwithbrenda.com for my website and to sign up for my newsletter and kind of get in on all of the happenings at Create with Brenda. Every month I host a mystery stamping. It happens the second Wednesday of every month. So, that being said, this is for Mystery Stamp March 10th of 2021. And if the reason I post this now, this is actually posting today, March 11th. In case you had everything cut out and you wanted to participate in the mystery virtual stamping event, but for whatever reason you missed it via Zoom, this is a second opportunity to find out how to assemble all of your parts. So, is what I do is the first week of the month, the first Wednesday of each month, I send out a kind of a information regarding the mystery stamping event. And this is virtual, and I do it via Zoom. So on the first Wednesday, I send out the link for the Zoom link to be able to join the meeting or the event, I should say. And I also give the supplies and all the cutting details required to assemble the project. So subscribe to my newsletter by going to createwithbrenda.com and watch for the details for the mystery stamping event. It is really, really fun. And you guys, what's an event without a prize drawing? So each month I give away a prize too for anybody who attends the event. So hope to see you there in April. Let me get that date for you. Hold on one second. The mystery stamping event in April is April 14th. So subscribe to my newsletter by then. Watch for the details, and I hope you'll join us live. It's really a lot of fun. Some really fun people join in, and we just have a great time with lots of laughs. Let's move on for this project. All right, so this month, the supplies that you needed were the designer series paper in 2 different coordinating patterns, a solid colored cardstock for the card base, coordinating ribbon, trim, or braid, a punch or die that's approximately 2.5 by 2.5, a sentiment for the front and inside of the card, and then of course ink, adhesive, dimensionals, trimmer, scoring tools, scissors, and available embellishments. All right, and then of course I added the medium size envelope. All right, I'm going to cover this part up because I don't want you to see it quite yet. All right, so the cutting instructions for this, and let's see if I can bring it in so you can see it. I think that's a little bit better. You need designer series paper, your main print cut at 1 inch, this is your coordinating designer series paper, cut at 1 inch by 4 inch, and I will be using a small patterned paper. The second designer series paper will be cut at 4 by 4, and I'll be using a larger patterned paper. Your card base is cut, now this is different, at 4 1/4 by 11, and then you score at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2, and I will be using just a basic white card base or cardstock. You'll need a basic white cardstock cut at 2.5 by 3 inches, and another piece cut at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Coordinating solid cardstock cut at 2 3/4 by 3¼ and another piece cut at 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay, so let's get started with our project. We've got our piece of basic white, and again, this measured, and it's different than usual. So it measures 4¼ by 11, and now we're going to score. I'm bringing my scoring tool, and maybe we'll have to try to come back out. There we go. So light gray is our scoring. All right, so we're going to score at 4¼ and 5½. All right, so there's that. Let's bring in our little bone folder here, and I'm going to fold it, give it a good crease, and then on this one I'm just going to fold it back and give that a good crease. Okay, all right. So next I have my large patterned paper, and if you haven't seen the butterfly bijou paper, you need to hop on my website and check this out. Here's my small patterned paper, and this was the piece that measured 1 by 4. So is what I'm going to do is take my snail. I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive there. And I'm going to lay that down just in that little section that we scored. And then here's the fold of the card, okay? So I'm just going to center it in there, just like that. And then I'm going to take my larger pattern paper, and again, this measured 4 by 4. And I'm going to add snail to that. And that is going to just get, laid down here on the front flap of our card. Okay, I'm going to grab my basic gray ink, and I'm going to be using the sentiment from, which one was that called again? That was the, I think I left it over here on the table. Yeah, it's from the Garden Wishes, and I wanted to use Wishing You All the Best. So, got that here. And then I'm going to take my smaller piece of, and I'm using Bermuda Bay, and my piece of basic white. So this piece measures 2 3/4 by 3 1/4, and this piece measures 2 1/2 by 3, because that's how we get that matte. Okay, so is what I want to do is I'm going to ink up my sentiment. I'm going to stamp it right here in the bottom left, just like that. And we'll put that on our piece of Bermuda Bay matte. And then using some Stampin' Dimensionals, I'm just going to add those right on here. And we're going to center that right on the front of our card. What do you think so far? Good, right? Thumbs up. All right. Our next step is I'm going to be using this Bumblebee. It's the gingham ribbon. And I'm not really sure. It's 1/4 of an inch wide. So you can go a little bit wider, or you can even use the baker's twine or linen thread. It doesn't matter. But it just can't be any wider than this 1 inch piece. All right. So what I'm going to do is just put this right through like that. And I'm going to tie a bow. And for those of you who don't like tying bows, you can always just tie a knot. But I am seriously a bow girl. I love bows. All right, and then I'm just going to trim this. Okay. Are you loving it? I'm loving it. Now on the inside here, I'm going to take snail, and on the left side of your trim or your ribbon, whatever you used, you can just add some snail or adhesive, whatever you choose. And we're just going to burnish that down so that it stays. Okay? So this is called, I think they call it a book fold. And I really like these cards. I think they're fun, and they just make it super interesting. So now, what is our focal piece on here? Well, I can hardly wait to tell you about this. So this butterfly bouquet, it's the early release product from just a sneak peek at the new annual catalog that will be coming out in May. The paper is called Butterfly Bijou, and that is only going to be available for a short time. But there is one large stamp and there's one large die. So at one time you stamp 6 butterflies and you can die cut 6 butterflies. And I do have other videos out there that you can go and look at the demonstration for that. But not only is the stamp and the die huge, but in the designer series paper, there's one piece of paper that is already done. The butterflies are done like this for you. But the die fits perfectly onto the designer series paper. So when you roll it through your die cutting machine, and it has to be a full-size die cutting machine, it can't be the mini, you get 6 different colored beautiful butterflies. Here's just a few of them. So there's this, there's this, and then there's like a pool party colored one. And actually I could get by putting this big one on there. I could do 2 of the smaller ones. I really kind of like it with just one, but maybe I will. No, I'm gonna stay with what I had planned. I'm gonna put a dimensional on the back of my butterfly, and then this is where, when you're using your own tools and products, just any kind of die cut that's going to give you the look. But I wanted to share with you that this butterfly early release, because it is amazing, and I am totally excited about it. So on the inside is what I've decided to do is I decided to make this a birthday card. So from the Enjoy the Moment, I like this little happy birthday right down here. So that's what I'm going to be putting on the inside of my card. And I want to just stamp that. You know what? I want to put my butterfly on. I'm going to put one on the inside here too. And it looks like I've come to the end of my sheet. Do you guys ever do this? I hope you do. You may as well use every last inch of product we can, right? The old saying, waste not, want not. Well, that's how I feel about these. Okay, so now I'm going to add this to the back of my butterfly. I'm going to put my butterfly right in here, which now I know exactly where I want to place my happy birthday on here. So I'm going to ink this up with the basic gray, and bam, right there. All right, how cute is that? I love it. It's perfect for spring. I'm going to close this because I have a tendency to throw everything in there if I don't close it. All right, little bit of snail on the 4x4. And remember, this was 3, do I have that right? Yeah, this was 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. This piece is 4x4, and that's what's going to give us that mat. And then I'm going to add a little bit of snail to the back of this. Let's bring our card back in. And I'm just going to center that on the inside. And there you have it. A fun book fold card that uses the Butterfly Bijou Butterfly Bouquet, which is the early release for the annual catalog coming up in May. And I invite you to join me April 14th, 7 o'clock. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter so that you get all the details and the Zoom link for mystery stamping. I hope you made a beautiful card, and it's always fun to see everybody's projects. So have a great day, and see you next month for mystery stamping at Create with Brenda. Bye-bye.